Sometimes I go down the other end of town to talk to Ted. He lives in a big white house, but no one really knows what to make of him. Not the gardener or the kids outside the gate. Ted told me that the White House is empty. He said, I like to live in the back in the little portal where I can keep all of my things. He showed it to me one day, and his things turned out to be these balls of twine that he had made into perfect spheres. I don't know how long it took him, but he didn't do it overnight, that's for sure. He told me he liked to arrange them and look at them in the light that came in from the back garden that overlooked the desert. Sometimes he walked on them, and sometimes he arranged them, and he said, you know, I like walking on them. You can feel each of them is different. They're like little worlds. You know, they're like the worlds in your head, but these are here on my portal, and each of the threads feels different. They're all like a fingerprint or a signature, and when I walk on them, they kind of give a little bit and they press back, and I can tell what they're feeling, you know. He said, think of them as dreams that you have at night that come to you and go, and they're all somehow connected, and you made them up, but you really didn't know how you made them up. You just kind of spun them out of the thread of your life, and when you go to sleep, he said, they just come back up, and they're ready to press against you and press against your mind and speak to you. After a while, he said, you can do anything you want to do. They're very friendly. He said, don't move a lot unless you move them, and then they just kind of press back, and you can kind of stretch out. You know, you can be like a kind of Jesus if you want to be, or you can pretend you're a giant in outer space and you're just lying back on the worlds that are whirling through the darkness. And he said to me, he said, I know you're looking at the threads. And I said, well, I am. They seem to be all connected. They're not separate, are they? And he said, no, they're not really separate. They all go from one to the other, and then to the other, and back to the other. And sometimes at night when I can't sleep, I kind of make some smaller and some bigger, and then it's more comfortable lying on them, if you know what I mean. They're correct. The worlds are all in order, and you can feel them right up your spine if you sit on them, you know. The balls were beautiful. The little worlds, they matched the rug. He carried it all on his back, he said. He came down by bus, and he put them in the luggage compartment, and when he reached the border, the immigration people always made him unwind them. They thought he was carrying dope or guns, and he'd unwind them. He said, I don't mind. He said, they'll go back together almost by themselves by this time. And he put them back together again and just continue on his way. And they've been doing it for years, winding and unwinding, setting up the rug and the little cradle, and then spinning them out over the days, just lying on the portal and looking up at the sky and doing whatever he wanted to do. crushed Ted when he was out here. He said, all the kids at the gate and people in town, they think I'm nuts. He said, but, I'm not nuts. I just do what I want to do. And not many people do that, do they? He was right. Not many people do. They're always doing their father's business or their brother's business or their friend's business or their grandfather's business. It's hard to find out what your own business is, and Ted found that out. He said, I just make these worlds. I love the way they feel. I take them wherever I go. Sometimes I dream on them, and sometimes I just rearrange them. All day long I'll just rearrange them and make one smaller and one bigger, and I never really stop. He said, there's so much to figure out. He said, really, when you sit on them, it's never the same. You lay on them or you walk on them. It's just different every time. They kind of give a little bit and then they push back, and you can feel the little veins like fingerprints, and it's like they're talking to you, and then you very slowly kind of move around, and then they talk back again. He said, I could do that all day long, just sitting here and looking out at the desert. And he said, I couldn't give a shit about the White House. They gave it to me because they felt sorry for me, that maybe I was just a little bit too nutty, but some part of them, whoever those people were, they just knew I was onto something, McGaffey was the guy. He just kind of liked me. He was from New York, and I take good care of the place. But to go inside, it's a waste of time. There's nothing there. It's just white walls and white floors and white ceilings, and there are no dreams inside that house. I think McGaffey had too much money. He thought it was a dream house, but he went back to New York and just left it here, and I take care of it. I go in once in a while just to make sure it's okay and the kids haven't broken in, and if they do, I kind of clean up. But most of the time, I just stay out here, I sleep out here, and I eat out here. I live my life out here. I don't really have any other life but this. That's what he said to me. And I like this life. I chose it, and I live in it, like I always wanted to, like I always wanted to.